Hello, myself Tushar Sharma, and this video is related to the class 10th history, which is also known as Indian contemporary world. In this video, I would like to discuss about the basic component of nationalism. The first chapter of class 10th history is nationalism in Europe. Okay, or the rise of nationalism in Europe. So in this video, I would like to discuss about the basic concept of a nationalism in Europe and as well as the basic concept of a nationalism. So see here, nationalism. First we have to understand what is the nationalism. What is nationalism? What is nationalism? Nationalism is an ideology. It is an ideology. It is an ideology. Ideology. The question is rises that nationalism is which type of ideology? The nationalism is which type of ideology? The answer is it is a political ideology. Political ideology. Political ideology. The ideology which is always in the favor of a nation. This ideology is always in the favor of nation. In the favor of nation. Okay. नेशनलिज्म, राष्ट्रवाद एक प्रकार की विचारधारा है. कैसी विचारधारा है? राजनीतिक विचारधारा है जो हमेशा राष्ट्र के हित में होती है. जो हमेशा राष्ट्र के हित में होती है. Okay, nationalism is an ideology. It is a type of a political ideology which is always in the favor of a nation. The core focus of nationalism is core focus. What are the core focus of nationalism? The core focus of nationalism is, the first is political loyalty. The second is national identity. These are the core focus of nationalism. The political loyalty and the second is national identity. These are the core focus of the nationalism. राष्ट्रवाद के दो मुख्य फोकस हैं यही. Okay. After this, we have to discuss about all the ideologies or the ideology which influence the nationalism. वे सभी विचारधाराओं के बारे में हम डिस्कस करेंगे जो राष्ट्रवाद को प्रभावित करते हैं. The relation of the other ideology with nationalism. जो दूसरी विचारधाराएं हैं, the different or the others ideology which influence the nationalism is the first socialism, समाजवाद. The second is liberalism, उदारवाद. Socialism, the ideology which is in the favor of a society, in the favor of society, and the liberalism is the favor of liberalism in the favor of individual freedom and equality before law. Understand? Okay. These are two ideology which influence the nationalism. After this, we have to know what are the other form of nationalism. इसके बाद हमको ये जानना आवश्यक है कि राष्ट्रवाद के दूसरे रूप क्या हो सकते हैं. व्हाट आर द अदर फॉर्म ऑफ द नेशनलिज्म. So here other form of the nationalism. First is civic, the second is ethnic, and the third is cultural. It is based on the identity and citizenship, and the ethnic, when we are talking about the ethnic, based on the ancestry, language, culture, religion, territory. Okay, it is similar to the culture, or cultural is also similar to the ethnic. It is in Hindi, civic is known as Nagarik Rashtravad, and the ethnic is known as Jatiya Rashtravad, and the cultural is known as Sanskritik Rashtravad. Okay, is there any problem? Okay, after this we have to understand the idea of nationalism and the French Revolution. The idea of nationalism and the French Revolution. The idea of nationalism, idea of nationalism and French Revolution. French Revolution. The date is 1789. A very important date, which is very important. In previous classes, you already read about the French Revolution, and you already know about the date, this date, 1789. Okay, this is the time where there were many changes in the France in a political sector as well as in a constitutional sector. We can say that there were many changes happened in the French after the French Revolution in 1789. Okay, we say that in 1789 there were many changes. There were many political and constitutional changes in France. Okay, these changes or the revolution or the French Revolution is the element or main elements of nationalism, because this is the result of a French Revolution. Nationalism is the result of a French Revolution. The idea of nationalism emerged from the French Revolution. We can say that the French Revolution is the father of nationalism. Okay, the idea of nationalism emerged from French Revolution. Okay, French Revolution. The idea of nationalism emerged from the French Revolution. Note this. Okay, the next. I was told you that there were many changes, political and constitutional. There were many changes in the political and constitutional sector. We see what happened. Note that in France, absolute monarchy transform to the nation state. The question is arises, what is nation state? What is nation state? Okay, nation state is a concept. It is a concept. It is a concept. It is a concept. Nation state is a concept in which the sovereignty within the people or citizen. Sovereignty means samprabhutta. Okay. The nation state is a concept which is emerged by the idea of nationalism. Okay, the nationalism is the result of a French Revolution. Okay. What is the means of nation state? It is a concept in which the sovereignty within the people. जो sovereignty रहती है, जो संप्रभुता रहती है, वो किस में सीमित होती है? लोगों में. It means everyone is free. It means everyone is free. Self-controlled, self-dependent. Okay. We see what are the changes after the French Revolution. We see what are the changes will be happen after the French Revolution in France. Okay. The first is transfer of sovereignty. From absolute to monarchy to people or citizen. Okay. सोवर्जिनिटी ट्रांसफर हो गई कहाँ से? मोनार्ची टू पीपुल्स में. द सेकेंड इज यूनिफाइड नेशन. What do you mean by unified nation? Unified nation, a nation, a territory, a nation where the peoples have shared belief, interest, culture, language and etc. A unified nation. A unified nation is an area or a territory where the peoples have a shared beliefs, shared interest, a common language, culture, identity. Okay. The third is equality before law. Equality before law. It means for the law everyone is equal. The fourth is national identity and symbol. The emergence of national identity and symbol. It is also an example of a unified nation. national identity and symbol. Okay, these are the changes. And the fifth change is centralize administration and law. There were many changes will happen in the France after the French Revolution or the emergence of a nationalism or the idea of a nationalism. Okay, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? After all these changes, the French army carry the idea of nationalism abroad. When the peoples or the leaders of France see that when we are become a nationalist, how it is not possible that the other country will become a nationalist or a free. It will be happened. So they carry the idea of nationalism, they carry this ideology abroad to the other countries of the Europe. From here, the idea of nationalism were scattered to the everywhere, in every country, approx every country of the Europe, as well as in the every mind of every mind of a people, everywhere. After this, we see a sudden change. After this revolution, as well as after these all events, we see a sudden change in the France. What are the sudden change in the France? We see that I will erase this. After this, I told you. After all these changes in France, we see a sudden change. We saw a sudden change in 1799. What we see? The Journal of France. We see a sudden change. The Journal of France will become the emperor. We see the Journal of France will become emperor. When he was become emperor, he implemented. When he was become emperor, he was implemented many rule and regulation. The General of France, whose name is Napoleon. Napoleon, which is also known as the name of Napoleon Bonaparte. When he came to the existence, or he came to the power, when he was came to the power, he done many reforms. And after the coming of Napoleon Bonaparte in the administration sector, the monarchy also come back, and it destroy the democracy of France. जब नेपोलियन बोनापार्ट सत्ता में आया तो मोनार्की, जो राजशाही थी, जो राजतंत्र था, वो दोबारा वापस आ गया और उसने फ्रांस से डेमोक्रेटिक को, लोकतांत्रिक को उखाड़ के बाहर फेंक दिया. The Napoleon Bonaparte implemented many rule and regulation which is also known as by the name of a Napoleonic Code. The rule and regulation which were implemented by the Napoleon Bonaparte is known as by the Napoleonic Code. That's all. Thank you.